you can't take the essence of like, that's why life's special, because we only get one, Biggie, one Sean Price, one, they can't be duplicated. Yeah. So, but if you love Big L, then you know what I mean? But yo, my bad. Y'all take the floor.
No, that's cool. I think woos per capita should be a new measuring stick for how dope a rhyme is.
I think it really is.
Woos per capita is dope. I can fix that.
Word. Oh shit! What did I do that for?
Up. That's right.
Yeah, everybody, yo, 222, episode 222 of the Motherfreaking Abyss podcast. Yeah. What's that stand for? Let me look. Balance, harmony, partnership, all that good shit.
Oh, that's an angel number?
That's what we are.
It's an angel number. Yeah, all that good stuff. Yo, we bring a balance. Yeah, definitely, man. Word, that's a dope hoodie. Rhyme Puma hoodie.
Yeah, shout out Rhyme Puma. That's right.
Word.
Go to rhymepuma.com.
And I see
check out that men's work.
PrimoJAB has the Max B on.
Hey man,
the Big Avell.
Not only do I have the Max Big Avell shirt on, this is art by our one and only, the world famous Squat Deadface.
Squat Deadface. Shout out Squat.
Special shout out to him. And into he did this as a painting the day that Max B came home, and I was under there. Yo, that's an ill picture. You need to make that a shirt. As soon as you make it a shirt, I'm copping that. He said, okay, say less. And here it is. He brought it to fruition. Thanks, Squat. Oh, and shout out that man. Shout out that prolific artist, man. He was just on, I think Australia News 1 or something, doing a painting live. And he's the first artist in Australia to do that, man. That's Abyss, cool. Man. We major people, man, worldwide, man. Worldwide, absolutely, man.
Definitely, man. Word. And to our left, or wherever he's pictured, down, pause.
Nah.
We have the one and only Guy Grams in the building, yo.
He's back.
Yes, what up? Welcome back.
Baltimore representing.
Baltimore in the building, you know what I mean? Yo, hey, we didn't coordinate this. We didn't all call each other and coordinate this. But I'm repping the late great Big L, Harlem's finest, you know what I mean? So just keeping with the theme, with the t-shirt theme, we repping Big L. Shout out Squad Face too, you know what I mean? Killing it with the art on the scene for sure. If you're down with underground hip hop, you definitely know about Squad Face shit. So, you know what I mean? And salute to y'all. And it's great to be back. You know what I mean? I know we did this before, and it's an honor to chop it up with y'all, as always. I know
you make it look up a little bit. Hey, yo, son, but let me ask you this. Since you got the Big L shirt on, how do you feel about the Big L album?
Let's get right to it. Absolutely.
Oh, no.
Yo.
Thanks,
Big
guy.
L.
Thanks, guy. Let's go.
Let's go. Big L, as far as, Big L is probably one of the greatest lyricists of all time. You know what I mean? So Big L, one of my favorites for, as long as I've been, a fan of this. So, and something as we're speaking on Big L, I know sometimes we get off track. So, the reason I say that Big L is the greatest of all time, a normal rapper make you go, woo, woo, like once or twice a song or a verse.
Yes.
Big L had more woos per capita in his rhyme. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like every other word, you'd be like, woo, woo, damn, yo, what the fuck? Damn, yo. So by woos alone, Big L got him. He's the best rapper of all time. So it's like, I'm not real familiar with what they trying to bring back come out with some new L. If any type of Big L recording that there is before now, any fan already done heard all that. So, if they remixed it and switched it around, but I mean, and with AI and all that stuff now, you could they could do all types of stuff. But at the same time, that's what makes each individual special, is that there's only one there's only one Big L, there's only one Guy Grams, you know what I mean? Like, there's only one Tupac, you know what I mean? Like, it's you can't take the essence of like, that's why life's special, because we only get one, Biggie, one Sean Price, one, they can't be duplicated. Yeah. So, So, but if you love Big L, then you know what I mean. But yo, my bad. Y'all take the floor.
No, that's cool. I think woos per capita should be a new measuring stick for how dope a rhyme is.
I think it really is.
Woos per capita is dope.
And I agree with you, guys. I agree.
You gotta have more woos per capita. You gotta pack them in there. You know what I mean? So some rappers don't even get but one a song or a verse. Yeah. But Big L especially. And even like with my catalog, like it's got some moves in there. You know what I mean? I'm heavy thinker. So you know what I mean? The pen is heavy as well. I moved the pen
what's that pen?
Heavy pen.
I think another thing is I think another thing with Big L is the flows and the pockets he found while having the woos. Mm-hmm. It's like, what? Like you said that that? Like we're putting
the smoothness. And see, when you get deep into it as we are, it's someone like AZ, right? I've always been amazed at the transitions from how he goes from thought to thought and how smooth it is. So on that same note, Big L is real nice with this, and them guys, he could make like a joint that's like a classy joint, like a club joint, but not like sell out type, where it's still like it's dope. For the ladies, have a good time, but it ain't like corny for the men. And you know what I mean? It was like in that lane where it was like, it could be commercialized, but it wasn't selling out, or it was still like true to the essence of, street music, Harlem, Big L, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, if you have that talent, like Big Pun, like Biggie, that could make that commercial joint, but the fellas loved it. So did the ladies. So they played it on the radio. A lot of times today, artists, once they go that way, it's
done.
It's corny. It's corny. It's not street. The women like it, or they put. Yeah. So it's like, so it's only a few artists that can play that position where they give it, to them both ways, basically.
True indeed. Oh, like Mobb Deep had that. Yeah.
I
had to throw it in there. I was waiting for Lukey to do it.
I was thinking
nowadays, you never know. So, you got to throw it in there.
You got to throw it in both ways.
And it's sad that we got to say that. You know what I mean? Like, I was smoking with my homies. And I was smoking with my homies the other day, right? And my man pulled out the big ass hash joint and shit, right? My man Stifler. He say, I'm gonna show you who the real Puff Daddy is, right? And we all geeked and we said, you can't say that no more. You know what I mean? But like, so they done fucked the whole game up. Not just Puffy, but I'm just saying, shit is funny now. So what used to be now is funny. So you got to, so that no pause and all that is warranted. So excuse me, that's hilarious.
Hey, bro. Hey, man, I'm so happy that you came here in such rare form and high spirits, man. Like instantly you came on here kicking down the door, spitting facts. Language nowadays is weird. A lot of terminology is definitely pause worthy, is definitely double entendre out here.
It really is.
Yeah. You know what I mean? We the ones who kind of made people look at language in a different way.
Right. Like, I'm an 80s baby. So, and then Wu-Tang, hip hop raised me, Wu-Tang raised me, all that. So I know about the slang and but I'm 40 now. So it's like the stuff the kids do today is like, we got 20 years of catalog of music for the listeners. And you know what I mean? I've been beating a trail and you know what I mean? I'm on Pop's life on like Al Bundy shit time now, where it's like I get the pizza crust if there's any left in the box. It might be just the top crust piece if after everybody eats type shit. You know what I mean? But
I got a question for you then. Real
man shit.
If you on your Al Bundy phase, would you be boning Peg, or would you be turning her away? Would you be giving her the cold shoulder?
Well, look, and it's dope that you said that, right? Me personally, like Guy Grams, I'm a buster. Peg Bundy is bad, right? The joke is,
yes.
But see, the joke is that he don't want Buster because it's his wife. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's like the whole time, the whole show. It's like if somebody else paid attention to her or wanted her, he'd be like, quick to be like, no, that's his girl. He throw his hands or whatever. Al Bundy was quick to throw his hands, but like, Peg Bundy, she could get it, bro. She definitely with the red hair and the walking around with the little spandex and shit, like, and the leopard print and all that shit. She was bad. Like, she wanted to get dusted off too. That's all she was really trying to do. Yeah. And my main man, he been married to her like 30 years. And it's like, she's bad, but it's like it's his wife. You know what I mean? So it's like, show me the baddest girl, and I'll show you the dude that's tired of busting her. And that's Al Bundy. You know what I mean?
I would not get tired of that.
I am on my Al. Look, I am on my Al Bundy shit because 5 touchdowns in one game, bro. Poke high, I used to be the shit, bro. I was killing the game. You know what I mean? So I'm still living off that shit. Like on my Al Bundy shit. But salute to yo.
I love it.
Well. let me tell you something real quick, guy. Mac Miller is on the Big L album, and that's cool. I don't really think that's a good cohesive. It's not a really good
I
track.
agree. No.
Yeah.
So look,
recruited Mac Miller to be on a project.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't think that would. But look, that's I'm gonna tell you this too, right? Look, as an MC, I'm Italian, as a white MC, as a Caucasian MC, I hate other white rappers, yo. They suck. I hate a lot of rappers, but especially white rappers, yo. But look, especially white rappers. Like I'm hard. You gotta come right. There's only a few of us that do it correctly. So when Mac Miller was around and being that, I'm kind of like in my own world, and I'm like so. I never really was a fan of Mac Miller when he was alive. You know what I mean? But since he had passed, a bunch of people around me was playing the Tiny Desk. I don't know if y'all ever heard the Tiny Desk, Mac Miller. So I heard that shit a bunch of times, Joe, and that shit made me a fan of bro. So so me personally, I never really paid too much mind to him until he was already gone. But I could tell you something else too, is that, he got a joint with Sean Price. I think he got a couple joints with Sean Price, right? Right. Yeah. But and they both are goofy. They both, they both rhyme. But you know why they vibe? Because they was both drug addicts. You know what I mean? And I was like, damn, when it hit me, like, they was really vibing hard because, they laid the verses and shit, but they must really hit it off. So it's funny when you said Mac Miller, these days I would say like, yo, I rock with yo shit, so I made a face like, oh, but then like you said, not the best pairing with Big L or like yo will put him with yo, you know what I mean, or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, but like, it's a complicated thing. But like I say, I definitely give my flowers and respect to Mac Miller for what he did. And, but at the end of the day, rest in peace to yo. And like I say, Sean Price too. Them guys hit it off, and it seemed like a cool pairing, right? But it's because they both like to get twisted. You know what I mean?
So it's like
they're
funny.
common experiences.
Word.
Yeah. So that's like I say, that's a cool pairing to me, like Sean Price and Mac Miller, but not Big L. You know what I mean? So
we're so old.
Disrespect to Mac Miller. I ain't trying.
Definitely.
I want to be clear about that.
But check it out. There was a poll on Below the Hip Hop. I believe it was Below the Hip Hop. They were saying who was the best white rapper ever. And a lot of people said Mac Miller. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. It was over Eminem. Eminem, his 4-year run of Eminem when he's running with G Unit and D12 and Shady Aftermath. That was so tough to me. That was like, I thought he was the best rapper alive right then when he was beefing with Benzino and Nelly. I was like, he had a whole bunch of diss tracks that was fire. I was like, he's going in. He had a lot of woos.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
So he had a lot of woos per capita.
But it wasn't the same type of woos though. Wasn't the same type.
It was like Excedrin tablet. He was Excedrin tablet short of a medicine cabinet and shit like that. But yo was like he was a crazy white guy. Like I don't know, but like
it's funny.
The Eminem thing. So like I say like R.A. the Rugged Man, Vinny Pass, Eminem definitely got to be in the conversation for sure. You know what I mean? Guys like that. And I can't really, my man Screw Tape in Philly, he underground MC that super sharp, Everlast.
Who's John Murdoch? You heard of John Murdoch from Lost Children of Babylon? He sound like RZA.
I'm okay. That's crazy. That sounds. I'm gonna have to peep that. But look, so with the Eminem thing, right? Like when he first came out, like when he was, crazy guy, like, I like that. You know what I mean? At some point he changed. He started rapping like the puppet dog, and he was dissing like pop singers, and he was like a crazy white guy. Then he started like wearing bulletproof vests, and like trying to slap the shit out of Moby and like doing whack shit, right? And then like, yo, I don't know, like, he lost me with like, the second and third album. He got a little, and then look at this, right? I argue with people. I used to go to this studio and it was like 20 people in there. I'm one of the only like Italian, Caucasian guys in there, right? We was having a debate. All the brothers was loving Eminem. We came out with that rap god shit, and everybody was saying like, I was saying like, one of my favorite MCs is Black Thought. I'd much rather hear Black Thought move a crowd, do a house party, rock the mic, than hear Eminem. And I went around and everybody else said Eminem, right? And I'm like, we had this whole debate, and I'm like, what? And maybe like the hood guys, like street cats, don't get Black Thought because he has a band behind him, and they know Eminem in some way that they, it just seemed confusing to me that. But I'll say the last thing I'll say about it is Eminem now is one of them guys like I hate hearing him. He should just wrap it up, And this mob Guy Graham said that shit, all respect to what he did, but look, he raps now like a panoramic banana hammock, it rhymed, but what the fuck is you saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just goofy to me. It ain't, you know what I mean? Like, if I never expect to hear M like on no serious, like crazy woos per capita, killing them with anymore. You know what I mean? I feel like laid back.
There was a time.
I think there's
Eminem show.
There's a weird thing that I think happens with like immense popularity too, though. And I think in Eminem's case, I would never, want to like disparage what he's done behind a microphone. But
agreed.
I do think that once you hit a certain level of popularity, if you start kind of eating your own cereal in a sense, you don't put the same kind of work in, and it's not the same thing anymore. You kind of know you have the masses and you can just throw stuff out there. And I think Eminem kind of fell into that a little bit.
Well, and that's artists today. If an artist has a name or a brand, they could take a shit in a box and they got fans that are going to defend it. Like, it's the greatest shit. Oh, that shit is fine. No, that's fucking good. So it's like a lot of the artists today, they run that where they get their bread until the product is so diluted or not what it, far from what it was when when your fan base jumped on. And it's like, it's something like with our brand, with, I say us, Guy Grams is a solo artist, but there's always 100 people, through the years that was helping me get to wherever I was or put out a project or hit the road or whatever I did. So it's like, we always stay true to the shit. Like cats jump on the wave that like we're on, like this underground boom bap 90s. It's like they'll be on to something else and we'll still be here doing this. And 10 years ago when they were doing something else, we still had this sound. You know what I mean? So and it's dope though. But a lot of cats, you should see progression in an artist from like their first album to their Street Intellect is what the first studio album we released. Gramzilla is a lot more evolved. War Metals is a lot more evolved as a person, as an artist. You should see that growth, but it's never too far from the true essence of the reason why we did this in the first place.
Exactly. Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah, artists. I mean, everything is subjective though, and sometimes artists totally change. It's like, look at Tyler the Creator. He was talking about raping women and everybody's the F word and stuff. And now all of a sudden now he's singing about boys. That shit is crazy to me. Yeah.
But you got to think too, pause. But but someone got in his ear. They said that's not profitable. What you're doing is, you know what I mean? It's like, if my name is sell drugs or Satan's whatever, then they're going to pull you up like, you can't, that murder, kill, death, murder shot, they're going to cut that down like, let's cut that to, short shot or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because it ain't marketable. They, got to a place where, people can invest. When you get to a place, when people are willing to invest in you, you know what I mean? And it's stuff like that when you take it to the table when you build with them kind of people. So at the end of the day, if my name was murder, kill, death, murder, I'm keeping it. We rocking like that. You know what I mean? Like, you won't see me on UMB or what I want to local,
check it though. But
whatever.
With Tyler though, I think you're absolutely right. Somebody definitely in this later era that we looking at, somebody definitely got in his ear as far as kind of his marketing and what he should be trying to start making. But he got there by making shit that was definitely not marketable, and it was profitable and marketable because it wasn't marketable, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like, because it was these kids, the whole Golf Wang generation, all the Camp Flognaw, that show that they used to do, Loiter Squad, all of that was to embrace the losers. I use that term with love, but not, not as a slur. But that's who he marketed.
Yeah, I get it.
That was his world. And the losers grew up, and now they're more mature. And a lot of them have found out that they like boys, or they're girls that like girls, and even more so. And that's he's just one of them.
All right. If you look at it,
it was the name Odd Future because it's odd.
So they was doing all that weird shit to warm them up to now it's like normal culture where it's not like so obscure. But like, all that to me though, all that shit sounds weird. You know what I mean? Like in my opinion, that's cool, but it's always niche shit like that. And I was with you. I was with you until you was like, and then the boys and girls and the girl, but like he's marketing to like the skater kids. Like I'm saying, there's like hardcore and like the skater kids and.
They're all
the guys that
the outside
shoot up their high schools and shit. They listen to that shit. And then they realize
absolutely right.
Here's the weird thing.
That's the same clip.
Here's the weird thing that happened at that Camp Flognog or whatever. Drake came out, and everybody was expecting Frank Ocean. So Drake came, and all the nerds at that place, they were expecting Tyler and Frank Ocean. They booed Drake off stage.
As they should.
And that was the first time that the nerds was mean to the so-called cool kids. And I was like, yo, the nerd culture is taking over. Tyler, I think he's straight. He likes weird shit. He's a musician now too. A true musician. And another thing that he said that he moved on from doing a lot of weird shit. All that. One of my favorite lines he had was victim, mommy, you my fifth one. Rape a pregnant bitch and tell my friends I had a threesome. I was like, yo,
but here's
that's insane. He said he moved on from that.
There's some woos in there. Hold on. There's a couple woos in there.
There are woos in there. Yeah, but hold on. He said he moved on from that. And one of his albums, they wanted him to do one of them, like a Tron Cat song again, like he doing crazy shit. And he forced himself to do it. But he went back, he don't listen to it ever. He said he later didn't listen to it because that's not him anymore. He was 16 when he was doing that stuff.
Thank you.
So he grew up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Can I say one thing though? And so it's controversial, like Nas, when I was 12, I went to hell for snuffing Jesus. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like a controversial thing, but not only that, like myself, like Guy Grams, I used to battle rap, right? So, a lot of the battle rap guys don't make songs. So I was in the lab with my man, he was playing the drum machine and we was flipping records and we was making real records. So I would go in a battle and say the most ignorant, nasty, ridiculous shit to somebody that I could say, right? And people might be like, whoa, oh my God, and all right. But my record was full of knowledge, right? So it's like, I'm saying all this ignorant stuff, but if I got your attention, now listen to my record and I'm gonna bless you with some wisdom. I'm dropping some science on my record. So it's like, so in the same way, he was 16 and he was saying controversial things, and now people jumped on, and now he's got people listening to what he's saying. He's evolved as a person, and so has his fan base, and he's saying different shit now. You know what I mean? But I mean, everybody, there's so many ways now, like with different platforms. And, at the end of the day, like I said, I've been doing music so long. I'm a caveman. Like, I'll check my thing every once in a while because I got to. I'll hit you back. I'll sell merch and do shit. Like, I'll get at you, but like, I'm not on there posting my spaghetti and, the shit I had for lunch or the sunset looks cool. And, I don't do, you won't hear from me unless I got business. I'm posting a new visual. I'm telling you about where I'm going to be or, some something like that.
The new video.
Pocket of Plug.
Yeah. I mean, shout out Pocket of Plug. You know what I mean? For real. The latest joint that that we released was Champagne Dinners. That's my record. It's produced by Ray Sosa, featuring my brothers Raph Almighty and Jay Royale. And we released that. Baltimore's finest. Me and Jay both East Baltimore, so we all gotta stick together. You know what I mean? Yeah. But we put that video out. Actors and Ballplayers. We put hold on. We put we got the some physical copies. So cats can get at me with they're very limited. We're going looking into trying to do a little vinyl deal or something. So plug us if you got any go. We did with Copenhagen. We built with Chopped Heron. We built with a bunch of good labels. So you know what I mean? And we might press them ourselves, but I like to build with good, like-minded people too and get in those channels. So, but yeah, Champagne Dinners, that's, we released that through the Snow Goons channel, which is the whole reason we shouted out the plug and you shout out Paca and we shout out the Snow Goons as well. You know what I mean? So, go check Champagne Dinners. If you haven't, it's, my latest single and it's, produced by Ray Sosa. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to plug that. And something I wanted to say before we go on, I really enjoy building with y'all. And the last time we built, we talk about real situations and I love how we get into it. It's and then I forget to plug my shit or talk about so then I'm like, shit, we talked about world issues and all types of people's opinions and all this shit. So we can continue. I just wanted to not get off here and be like, that was a real positive interaction. Damn, I forgot to plug what the fuck I'm doing and all that shit. You know what I mean?
You're absolutely right, though. You're absolutely right, though, because that is what happened last time you were here. We were just talking about everything else. And by the time it was time to talk about what you had going on, it was like,
time's up.
Oh, time's up. So you came in hot this time. You're like, okay, no, we going. Let's go.
No, but look, and I appreciate y'all, and that says something about our vibes. That we're not all in the same room, but we can all vibe together. I could chop it up with y'all. Y'all are my friends. We could kick it. I don't know what cities y'all are in or where y'all at, but we could meet up at the cookout and share a doob or have a cold one, and you know what I mean.
Would flow for sure.
Because we vibe on that level, you know what I mean? So it's super cool to, chop it up with good people like y'all, you know what I mean? And really, I wasn't that high spirited today or in this holiday season, but in talking to y'all boosted my spirits in some way. So, I appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Good, man.
100%.
Let's play the album cover though, bro. Who on the album cover of the Actors and Ballplayers?
So Actors and Ballplayers. All right. We got young Al Pacino. We got Elvis. We got Joe Namath, and we got Baltimore's own Muggsy Bogues.
Muggsy,
and that's when Muggsy
one
was
of my favorites.
Playing for Dunbar. That's right down the street here from where I'm talking to y'all. You know what I mean? So shout out to Muggsy Bogues. Shout out to Dunbar. You know what I mean? So back in the day, Reggie Lewis, the whole squad was killing them. If I'm a super Celtics, bad heart, my man.
Yeah.
But yeah. But Actors and Ballplayers. We got we released let me see. We released official Actors and Ballplayers visual. We released Pete Maravich visual. I released X and Belly was one of the latest ones we released.
I love it.
And and the video turned out real well, and the track is dope. We had to end I'm smoking blunts and running red lights, and
that's
can't fuck with me. That's it, right? And then we just kind of released Robin Off the Rebound as well, so on Pocket's channel. So and then like I said, the single, the Champagne Dinners, which has been doing real well. That's off an album that I have with Ray Sosa. He's a local producer. He works with a bunch of artists and Jay Royale and a bunch of my camp of artists, Ray Sosa. So and him and I have 15, 16 joints done, and it's loosely was going to be the Andolini project, right? And it's volume 1, volume 2. We're going to cut it up. It's the Andolini, you know what I mean? So we got some shit coming, but we're not sure how to cut it or where we, at this point right now, I'm lining up to shoot more visuals. So loosely, I think we're going to give you the whole album. We're probably going to give you 8 to 10 joints, but we're going to give you a visual for all of them. Just to do it like that and work the album in that way, and then, too, sometimes you might hear a track sometimes like you see the visual make you like a song and shit like that. Not that the songs is already crack. I mean, it's already like high level shit, but like sometimes when you make an album, say we make 8 joints, we want to work the album and shoot a few visuals. Well, like with this, I want to paint the visual picture for you and shoot the whole album and work every joint like once every couple weeks, once a month for 8 weeks or 8 months. We just gonna crack you with a new one and a new one, you know, and just work the whole album that way. You know what I mean? So
that's dope. It's a good plan.
You know, just different. Why not? You know, people digest music differently. Some of my albums, I had albums where I gave them 20 songs. And it's like, I could have cut that in 3 and released it throughout the year. And it looked like I'm super busy when it's the same workload that I'm normally doing. So, you know what I mean? So it's like, people they ain't listening to 18 songs. And it's a third verse on the 18th joint. And I put all my heart into it. It ain't if the tree falls in the woods, somebody going to hear it. Like, yo, you got to be around to hear the noise, right? So, you know what I mean? We try, you know, cut it up and feed it to them differently. Change the tops from red tops to green tops, or, you know, make them think it's something different. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I don't know. I'm from Baltimore, so yeah.
That was a good one right there.
It was pandemic. Now it's anthrax. It was anthrax.
I'm trying. Yeah, yo. Well, now it's we step on it and change the. Yeah, nah, you ain't. Yo, you heard that the red was last week, but yo,
yo,
I'm trying to tell you, bro.
Word.
But yo, and I say that to say too something I wanted to say tonight is that Baltimore, like yo, like I'm a humble guy. Like people that know me, I've been going up and down the East Coast. We traveled overseas. We done, you know, I shake hands and kiss babies. Like I love traveling. I love going around. Other MCs, the crowd. It's love. You know what I mean? Like yo, I'm a humble guy. Yo, I'm one of the nicest to do this. Like period. Like I've been doing this for 20 some years. Like I don't even usually talk like that. But like I say, I'm 40. Yo, I got the receipts. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, and not only me that been putting in the legwork and doing this shit for so long, Baltimore in general. Like I don't even want, we are some of the most slept on city around. And yo, I say that to say because a lot of your people that follow this, they're familiar with the Dirt Platoon. Shout out to Snook the Crook. Shout out to Raph Almighty, Ill Conscious, Jamil Honesty, my brother Jay Royale, myself. You know the it's just so many rappers. Seneca the Misfit, like yo, just Comp. The Comp was on Def Jam in back in the day, and yo, we got so much talent here, just in the underground MCs. Just you know what I mean? And I feel like. Y'all know, like the underground knows. I see the comments. I hear what people say, and they're like, "Baltimore, they're at it again." Well, the Baltimore guy, and when we travel, your favorite rappers, like these guys are here. They know us. You know what I mean?
So it's like, for sure.
I need to make a list.
I say that to say, like, Baltimore needs to get the love that it deserves. And, myself as an MC, all my brothers in rhyme, all us is, and we're right in between Philly and New York. And, we hit the turnpike and we go up 95 and we travel. But it ain't the same, bro. It's like, we're like the stepchild of the East Coast, stepchild of the hip hop scene. Or it's like, you know what I mean? And it is like that, though. But it is like that.
I don't know, man. It's
not
like
with us.
Like you just said.
Other people, yes.
I'm just keeping it.
Baltimore is highly regarded and highly recognized.
With
that's
us.
why I would, that's why I would ask, like, to
you think it is regarded?
What do you?
Not everybody else.
Think you got? What do you think Baltimore underground hip hop? Baltimore is lacking as far as respect wise, because like you said, the names that you named, y'all are established, especially in this modern era, this 2015 and beyond era. The Baltimore flag is flying heavy. It's a certified.
There's a lot of finger. Definitely.
From all the names that you just mentioned.
What are the branches though?
You know what I mean?
But I mean, when you compare, like when you I kind of like I said, we're in between like New York, Philly, Buffalo, all these cities that even like Atlanta, all these different places. I mean, we get booked. We work it. I mean, I'm just saying, like, no, y'all know because y'all are the underground guys. So y'all are tapped into the underground scene. So you may be familiar with those artists that I'm naming or that I'm saying, but Baltimore is totally slept on. It seemed like we got to work twice as hard, and then that's just the facts, and that we've been doing that for years, you know what I mean? And we're right in between a bunch of cities that kind of got like their own vibes, and we don't really like, I mean, the guys that I named for the underground scene for what we do, we've established that. But outside of that, it's it's go-go music, it's club music, it's Baltimore is, and then I spoke on that before that.
Yeah,
a lot of artists no artist from Baltimore never really blew up like that. I mean, aside from like Lowe's or some of these trap rappers or that do certain shit. I don't know. It's like there's never, you can't even name a big rapper that like.
When Baltimore, you think about The Wire. Like
the Wire, and
like Lamar.
Well, but that's okay. Everything you just
that's
said,
cool though,
Everything you just said is absolutely correct. So I feel like more so what you're talking about is maybe the mentality, maybe the approach of Baltimore MCs. Y'all rhyme, y'all got chips on y'all shoulders because you're not New York, you're not Philly, but at the same time, I mean, y'all have done a lot more than a lot of MCs from those more established places, man. Y'all all know that there are places overseas, like you were just shouting out Snow Goons before. I mean, Germany, Finland, France, Spain, UK, all of these places, France especially, knows about Baltimore MCs.
Sure.
Because y'all have been out there demonstrating and putting out product that made it so that there was a market for y'all to go out there and push y'all lines. So I would say, that's the only reason I'm playing devil's advocate is I would say that the Baltimore flag, again, like I said, is highly established and defended and well represented even to this day. You know what I mean?
To this day. Okay.
Yeah, salute. I just want to say, like, I feel like we don't get the same attention or clout that we're caught in between a lot of that stuff. And salute to all my brothers that do that. That you know what I mean. That over the years, that the local guys that we waved that flag, and I'm super proud of that. That anywhere we ever took that, I like to tell people that all this is air rhymes. Like it's from nothing. Like it's something that we made. We took this shit out the air and made. It's air rhymes that we made into something and took it around the world. And I got to connect with good people like y'all and shake hands and move around. And you know what I mean? And we built it from air rhymes out of
nothing.
Out of nothing.
Okay. I'm gonna take a break right now. There are hubs of hip hop, and there's definitely a Baltimore hub. Like of MCs that hold it down. Now there's the Detroit hub, definitely, with Ty Ferris and Mickey, Big Trip. Then you have New York City, which includes Rome Streets and others, Josiah.
Right.
Oh, shout out to Josiah, 92 Olympics. That's keep the flame like 92 Olympics. Hold on, real quick. Yeah. Rochester.
Ito and all Ito and
then you have New York area. But what are we missing, Karl?
Chicago.
Chicago, definitely Chicago. Chicago.
Well, I mean, I think there are lots of regions that
but
have
more than
really
people.
strong scenes.
Yeah.
But I think it's more. There's always been a stigma in rap about New York, and I think
New York City,
it's a lot easier for somebody to get noticed and blow up quicker from New York, one of the 5 boroughs, not necessarily the outlying upstate, but from the 5 boroughs specifically, are going to get noticed a lot faster. Whether it's because, like LA, New York is an industry town, and there's a lot more eyes that are going to be on it. I think that's going to have something to do with it,
and it's the sound as well.
I think the advantage that this underground has, and the reason why more people know about Baltimore and Detroit and Rochester and these different places is because of the work that people do, that cross-pollination of features. And so many of these people like Jamil and Jay Royale and Pro Dillinger and you and all these people willing to work with other artists from other regions. And what happens is we find out, and then we go, oh, that Baltimore artist is sick. Yeah. Oh, and that Baltimore artist has worked with these other Baltimore artists. Let me check them out. And that's, so I do feel like it's a lot better than it ever was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and then
go ahead.
No, that's something with the internet.
I was looking with this, like we have a Toronto hub, definitely. A Cali hub. It's not really just LA with Boo Boo, Jay Worthy, TF, all these
Central
guys.
Florida hub.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, Miami hub. Yeah. Well, yeah. But there's like a DC hub. Who is DC? It's just Uncle John.
But Jay Cyanide.
Jay Cyanide's from there.
Yeah, that's right.
Who else?
There's a couple more, but don't hold me to it. Let's keep it moving.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm looking here. There's a lot of hubs, but Baltimore is definitely one that's recognized over and over and over again. Whenever I was tapped, I saw Ill Conscious and Jay Worthy at the Supply and Demand shit, and Jay not Jay Worthy, my bad. Jay Royale. Yeah, I saw him up there. They had beer.
We was all there. We mobbed out. We, you know, if you've seen them, you've seen all us.
Yeah, I saw y'all on stage. Out there. Y'all was all on stage.
Hell yeah.
And Mondo without the mask was there.
Yeah.
and no one even knew it was Mondo.
Unrecognizable.
He's on stage with y'all. He's on stage with y'all.
Yeah, yo, we did a bunch of them top shelf joints, and then they be like the livest joints of the summer. And shout out to them, you know what I mean? And it's always all love, you know. But yeah, man, we definitely put that work in, and you know, put the work boots to the street and move. And I said that before, I'll say it again. Like if y'all book us, like we show up, like, you know what I mean? Like all over the world, like for y'all people that if you want to see us come rock, that's our best asset is getting in front of people and physically being like, what up? And you know what I mean? And like, you know,
hyping a crowd.
So I love that. I love that, connecting with the people. And sometimes people come up afterwards and be like, my brother passed last year, yo, and you said this one thing and it touched me in a way and all this shit. And yo, I appreciate all that shit, that people listen and they, you know, connect with it on a certain level. So, you know, that's, you know, that shit is invaluable.
Since you also, before we get too far, man, before I forget to say this, sometimes I forget to ask questions. You being an Italian American, are you familiar with going with this World Cup situation going on right now?
No, I can't say that I am.
Y'all is about to miss the World Cup, Guy Graham, and the World Cup is in the United States, and then y'all might not make the World Cup, bro. You can be out here having a party.
It's in LA.
It's everywhere. Yeah, it's a lot of places.
So hold up. Yeah. I follow sports. You know, American sports like American football, basketball, baseball, you know, stuff like that. So I don't follow a whole lot of, you know, football like European football and stuff like that. But I do watch the World Cup, you know, when it's on as a sports fan and all right. Don't Italy make it every year? Don't we got like a pretty solid type team, right? Like what?
Yes.
Like
what?
That's shocking. Yeah, that's why it's shocking.
Y'all got to win 2 games to make it. You're in the playoff right now. And if you don't win those 2 games, y'all don't make the World Cup, man. And
so are these games televised? Can I now I got stake in it. So now I'm going to go try to, you know, I'm going to see if I can't beat a little push that get us over the hump. You know what I mean? Like
hopefully.
Hopefully that we see Team Italy in the World Cup. So I can't speak too much on it. Go team, you know what I mean? Let's go Italy. You know what I mean? Like, yo, let's make it so you come to LA and I can root you on, you know, properly, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's the big thing. They might not be in actually America. Who knows? It's in three different countries. It's in Canada, United States, and Mexico. So they might get sent to one of those 3.
Yeah, Toronto and Vancouver. You know. Guadalajara, Mexico City, Monterey, and then like 12 cities in the U.S. Atlanta, Boston, Dallas, Houston, Kansas City, Los Angeles, Miami, New York, New Jersey, Philly, Seattle, and San Francisco.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
So they're currently playing qualifying games now?
Yes.
Right.
I don't think y'all play again until March, though. And that's when,
the actual World Cup starts,
And that's the World Cup starts in March?
It starts in 2026. I thought.
Yeah, but this is a real big deal.
I would say, if our next match, my Italian brethren's next match ain't until March, well, we got time to get it together. You know what I mean?
Hopefully,
like,
man, I'm gonna be hurt.
The final draw is going to be December 5th.
Oh, so these games are coming up
fairly soon.
This is the World Cup playoff draw. Italy, you have to play Northern Ireland, and then
we got that.
I don't know, bro. I hope so.
Northern Ireland, them Ireland guys, they drinking whiskey and like, you know what I mean, having babies and shit, you know.
then the other ones is Bosnia and Wales. So if you beat Northern Ireland, then you have to beat Wales or Bosnia.
Wow.
Wouldn't you think that an Italian like Italy is a more, a football, more known for football than any of Wales and all these places that you named? Like, how they going? If they get beat by those teams that you named, they don't deserve to be in the World Cup.
I will say this though. Yeah, I mean, I will say this in Europe generally, soccer or football has been a huge staple. It's ingrained in a lot of different cultures up there. So anywhere from, Germany has always had famously good teams. A lot of the UK, but also Spain and Morocco is now competing and doing well. It looks like the 11th of July is the first group stage match.
Okay.
Where?
In Guadalajara, Mexico.
Okay.
And Mexico City. There's 2 matches
does it
that
have
day.
The dates?
Don't get trafficked.
What's that?
I said, when is the Atlanta dates?
So it looks like we have a match on the 15th of June.
Okay.
Taking off.
The 18th of June. This calendar is really small. The 21st of June, the 24th, and the 27th.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Do you all follow, college basketball, right?
Right now, yeah.
Got Gonzaga, ain't they like top 10 in the country or something?
Usually.
Maryland's about to play. Maryland plays Gonzaga tonight. In the Las Vegas championship or something. Some kind of Las Vegas tournament that they're having.
Maryland. Maryland ain't been that good. They had Queen last year.
What last year? We had the Crab 5, bro. Last year we had the Crab, and we went to the Sweet 16, but we lost We lost Derek Queen. He went, he's killing for the Pelicans now. I know y'all was going to bust my chops about Angel Reese. So, that's still my girl.
No. They are, not me. They are, not me.
Lukey is full scale in love with her.
Everybody knows.
In his locker at school, he's got that poster in his locker.
Yeah, that's Bmore. That's Bmore.
That's his two picks.
Yeah, I would like to have a three-way with those two motherfuckers.
I almost bought the Reese's cereal because she was on it and all that shit. You know what I mean?
Like I've seen
peanut
butter and I bought it. Yeah. Yeah. Have you
LC loves AR and then realized it might be a mistake.
Yo, I love Angel Reese, yo. I don't give a fuck. And she has a family full of winners.
Yo.
She has a family full of winners, yo.
Her mom and her brother, You know what I mean? Yeah, salute to the Reese's.
She's a brick.
You know what I mean?
Right now, talking about she is, but she's definitely a big house though. Yeah.
I didn't mean it that way, Lukey.
Yeah, I know you didn't. I love that. Yeah, check it out. But right now, who I'm looking at in college basketball is Carmelo Anthony's son.
Really?
I seen that. LaMelo. What's his name?
Killian. What?
Keon.
I don't think it's Keon, yo. It's something weirder.
It's Keon.
Keon's too regular, bro. It's something else. It got to be something weird.
Syracuse?
Yes.
He's for Syracuse?
Yeah, he's balling up there right now.
You're old if you remember when Melo was running with Syracuse and all that, And me too.
Yeah, I remember I was living when John Wallace was running with Syracuse.
Yeah, it's Keon.
That's my Syracuse.
It is
Kiyan. Keon.
It's Keon.
Keon, what did I say, man?
You said it.
I thought it was something weird.
Why are you trying to extra exotify his name?
Because Lala don't look like Lala no more.
Because he thought that's the way that they were trying to, that's what the way they intended. That's why he thought, because, it's like some high-end shit. So they just,
it is, it's easier to pronounce than people, that's one thing when people see spellings of names and everything,
the black names,
they always put an extra accent in places and make it harder than it has to be. And it's really,
I swear, I was at a track meet and they yelled a dude named Devin Miller. And the kids are standing next to me. Devin Miller. And he was like, oh, you mean Devon? I was like, oh, shit. Yeah, Devon Miller right here. Man, they calling your name for 10 minutes, but go jump, man. Damn.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say this to say, like, my pop's name is Guy, my name is Guy, and my son's name is Guy. So when it comes to people's name, Guy is a good, solid name if you ask me, but it's still kind of, some people think it's strange. So, like, I don't really got too much, room to be cracking on people's names because my name is Guy, you know what I mean? So, which is a good, solid name if you ask me. So,
but not a usual name for sure.
Yeah.
No. So, I'll say his name is what, but my name is Guy. So, you know what I mean? Like, I get it.
Hey,
but they said, I don't know. I would know who they was talking about if they mispronounced my name type shit. You know what I mean? So,
I think we was probably like 12 or something like that too, yo. So we was young. Hey, yo, shout out to Aqua Antoinetta, nickname Netta. You know what I'm saying? Word. Boom.
Word up.
Netta Stevens. I think she lives in Savannah now. Yeah.
Oh, that was her name?
That's her name. Aqua Antoinetta.
Aqua Antoinetta. Okay. I thought that was her MC name or something. That shit's dope.
Nah.
Yeah, it's hard, bro. It's
hard to spell.
I gotta find me a girl MC, and
Yeah, you gotta remember all them names. I
would have just called her Aquanet, like the hairspray.
That's it. That's what as it was intended. That's what she was going for. You know what I mean? Like to play on words and shit.
There's a lot of science behind those names, man. There's a lot of science behind it. Sometimes. It's just as simple as, combining the mom's name and the dad name or whatever.
Lee John. Remember that? One dude's name was John. One dude's name was Leroy.
Yeah.
His name was Lee John. That's in the movie.
But then also sometimes, the root of it comes from some oppression shit, man. It comes from when these enslaved people were on plantations and they were getting their babies snatched away from them. You know what I mean? They started giving their babies these unique names so that if they ever heard that name again,
they could find them.
They would know that's my seed, that's my kid. You know what I mean? So that's where a lot of those names historically have come from.
So they could track them down later and catch back up.
Not only so you could track them down, but again, here comes the dark side of the game to it, so that when they were doing all their buck breeding and all that type of stuff, that you weren't ending out here being a motherfucker because there you go, yeah. Because you got traded to a different plantation.
I think you're my mom. But your name's Aqua Antoinetta. I'm joking.
PrimoJAB is dropping some actual real knowledge here, and you were being a 4-year-old over there.
Yeah,
no, but
I was about to say we're being
typical Lukeyism shit.
We're like, we're shooting the shit, and we're like, killing time and being silly, and drop some real science on us, the way. And so, salute to that, though. You know what I mean? And the more you know, the more you know, pass it on. Pass it on. You know what I mean? That's what we're supposed to do.
And I swear to God, there's only one Aqua Antoinetta out there. So, you my mom
out there.
Mom?
Each one teach one.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Yeah. You wouldn't know if that's your mom, then you know what I mean? Then,
right. Right.
That's definitely a unique name.
You are terrible.
Hey, boy, it's funny, yo. It's funny.
Salute, Primo.
Good job, Primo.
Yes.
Good job, man.
Y'all started it. Shout out Aqua Antoinetta. Shit.
The more you know, though, yo. Each one, teach one.
Yeah, Aqua Antoinetta's fine, yo. She had a slim doodle maker, 2 babies. She a MILF, yo. Shout out to her, yo.
All right, that's what's
up. I want to see she deactivated on Facebook.
We started a whole other chapter.
Okay. Yesterday, before we transition to the next thing, I'm going to ask you about this new album coming out. Houston only beat Syracuse by 3 yesterday. Today they lost by 3 to Tennessee.
Okay.
So in the final game, Tennessee is got some good players, man. I like college basketball. I like hooping, bro. I know you as a sports fanatic as well. Troy Aikman, you got all the Pete Maravich songs, all that. Ayo, boom, but you got a good song, Troy Aikman. Yeah,
no doubt. I just gotta say fuck Troy
and all the DJs in the album, yo, I appreciate the DJ-ism. That's a word. The DJ-ism.
It is now, Lukey.
Yeah, and in your joints, yo. I appreciate that.
And something too. I tried to remember this and think of this. You know, Yo already mentioned that a lot of us artists collab. So like just on my, I know I'm forgetting some, just on my projects alone, some of the artists that I want to shout out to, take a minute. So Snook the Crook, Ill Conscious, Raph Almighty, J Royale, Jamil Honesty, Daniel Son, Reef the Lost Cause, Tragedy Gaddafi, Seneca the Misfit, Comp, Starvin' B, Spit Gems, The Soloist, King Magnetic, UG from the Cellar Dwellers, Mickey Diamond, Pro Dillinger, Josiah the Gift, The Ice Lord, Sage Infinite, Supreme Cerebral, DJ Swab, Screw Tape, Jay Cyanide, Dro Pesci, Govmatic, The Secret Scientist, Skanksta Rap Martyr, you know, and more and more. But like, just shout out to all them cats I named that, you know, that I built with, that, you know, that we build with, you know, on a personal level, and I got respect for their craft, and you know they do the same with mine. So, you know what I mean? And you know, it is good to cross promote that stuff. Like you said, certain cats are you're plugged into a certain artist, and then you see, you know, and that's not even to mention all the features. That's just my projects, and I probably forgot a few guys too because I'm doing it off the top. But you know, over the past 15 years, I've done 1,000 features for different artists and stuff too. So, you know, and then they're all out there and stuff too. So, but yeah, we cross promote. So if you're tapped in with a certain artist, a lot of times someone will come across your radar, like, you know, through that, and you're like, what? And then you might see that name again on somebody else, and you're like, well, wait a minute. And then you know, I do the same thing where like I'll tap in with somebody, and you know, and whether you catch on, whether you're just catching on or you're still keeping up, like we appreciate that as an artist. And you know what I mean? Like wherever you jump on, it's just good that did you get the message? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's a double win though, because you know, as a fan, we get unique matchups and these amazing tracks, but you guys also get that extra growth to your fan base, because you know, when you feature or when you have people feature, you're pulling fans that are searching for that particular name, whether it's your name or the other person. And so, you know, I think there's, and you've always handled this well, there's a responsibility to make sure that it's not an overwhelming thing on your album, not bar for bar, but like having too many features on an album can take away from your fans' enjoyment of it. If I'm there for Guy Grams, I want to hear Guy Grams. It's cool that I get some of those other features, and you always do a really good job of just peppering in on an album the right amount of features.
Well, so me personally, I'm sorry to cut your wisdom. No, I'm cognizant of that. So when I make a project, like if I got 6 bangers and 6 like laid back joints, it won't be all 6 of the bangers and all 6 of the, you know, they'll be mixed in to make it like a nice cohesive thing. I wouldn't put all the features in one, you know, it'd be like, you know, 10 joints, 5 features. So they'd be sprinkled in between. And, you know, a lot of times too, is that, you know, it happens naturally where like when I'm working on something, you know, I hear the vibe of a certain song or a beat or whatever I'm doing. And it's like, yo would fit this so-and-so artist. So it's like naturally I might reach out to that artist or I have a personal, you know, connection with them, or we build or whatever. And it's like, you know, building ideas back and forth, or being like, I can really hear you on this, or, you know, or vice versa. You know what I mean? So a lot of times it ain't like a forced thing. It's more of like when I'm building in the lab, when I'm building with my other homie, we're like, we could hear yo on this. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, and a light bulb goes off, you know, and really it is when I'm working on a project too, it's, you know, it's cool. Like I want to show off my, you know, like my skill set or whatever, but it's really for the listener's enjoyment. So if I enlist another artist or someone that I know is going to bring something to the project, you know, I call my son because he shines like one, you know what I mean? Like, yo, I'm saying it wrong, but like, you get what I'm saying is like, yo,
exactly.
Yeah. because it's like, yo, if you're adding something to the project and the listeners are going to enjoy that, then I value that as, for that, not as much as like I'm a grip up on his fans or whatever. It's like, what does he bring to the project that, that the listeners will enjoy, or, you know what I mean? Shit like that. Yeah. And then naturally that comes where we kind of cross-pollinate, fan bases and shit. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
The rabbit hole, the rabbit hole,
and it's always like that where you're like, when you like an artist, you're like, and he made beats for so-and-so and they work with Yo, and you end up telling your man like about some rapper and you're like, and he worked with Yo and Yo worked with him and he did songs with them. And you know what I mean? It all connects to something.
I love it, man. We call it me and my cousin, when we would talk about it, we just call it spider webbing out here, man. Like people are definitely connected, and it's a great thing. It's beneficial for all of us. And I say it a lot, and I mean it. It's we support us. Just like you took the time right then just to shout out all those names, those 36 names that you just said. That just turned 10 people on to, 6 new people that they never heard of. And that's how it goes. Word. You know what I mean? And that's the strength of, I think, of what we got going on in this modern era right now, is that we're actively networking, and we know the power of utilizing our network and utilizing our connections with each other to help each other get ahead. And we're not gatekeeping it. We're not trying to be on some, other than the usual, you're whack, I'm not rocking with you gatekeeping, you know what I mean? Yes. Like everybody, right. You got to maintain. Yeah, we're maintain. But you know what I mean? Like we're really trying to elevate the all of us, because we're the culture.
Yes, contribute.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a beautiful
100%.
It's a beautiful thing to see.
I agree. I never, if I'm on a track like with an artist, I respect them as an artist. You know what I mean? Like it's real hard, even doing art so long. Excuse me. People reach out to me and want me to do features, or not all money is good money. I think we said that last time too. It's like, I have to turn down stuff sometimes. Either it don't fit what I'm doing, or I don't really vibe with what you're doing, or it's just straight up whack. Well, like you said, just taking the politeness out the window. You know what I mean? But I think we need more of that in hip hop, that, shit got too like politically correct. I told you I'm an 80s baby, where, and all the stuff through the 90s, or, if you, cats would tell you like, hit the exit, bro. Like you don't got what it takes. And not only that, sometimes like an artist on the scene would like come onto a scene and then realize that their skill level wasn't, and then maybe fall back for a couple years and work on their craft, and then come back ill as shit. You know what I mean? And it's like that's what I'm talking about. It's like now everyone's too polite. If you're whack, the people are scared to tell you that you're whack, or your friends don't pull you aside like, yo, you know what I mean? It's like, and it also dilutes the game for the rest of us that are, you know what I mean? And it's like a whole bunch of stuff like that, where it's like, and everyone's trying to be like politically correct, or not like to tell someone that or not hurt their feelings, or have mental, I don't know, but like, yo, it didn't used to be like that, bro. It just used to be like, if you didn't have what it took, you had to beat it. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the difference now. Now is less of the actual in-person showing, improving, demonstrating. Now, right, the level of entry is the gift and the curse of the modern technical age. Now the level of entry has been lowered so much that pretty much as long as you have a will to want to try, you can get in and follow a step-by-step approach to releasing some music, getting the music on websites, right? Getting videos out. You can do a.
It's low hanging fruit. It's low hanging fruit, and it's easy.
All you need is an iPhone and an internet connection.
And there's, too. I was just gonna say before, you had to, in the older days, you had to show up to places, you had to battle, you had to get recognized as being ill. And the crowd was determining if you were dope or if you were only okay and needed to do something else. And that's how MCs discovered themselves back in the day. Nowadays, there aren't as many physical show up, demonstrate, show improve type events that are happening.
Qualifications.
That's all.
I agree. and now people have, they have their own, like all these outlets and apps and shit that they can, that they push their brand through different channels, and what it seems like today, more so than anything else to me, is like, I'll see some young kid online kicking bars, like saying some ill shit. Right. It might have a couple views or a little bit of traction, but today it's all the goofy shit. I see goofy rappers and people that are like silly. Y'all was saying like the nerds, some guy that looks like he don't got no business rapping, and people saying dumbass shit, right? And it got millions and it's like goofy, right? You know what I mean? And it's like, and that's not I don't know, but like, they're creating a lane for them to, and they have people that follow them and enjoy it in that lane. And there's a time and a place for everything. So I'm not one to say that, but that's not what hip hop is, though. You know what I'm saying? So that's not associated with the culture. That's like making your own lane and cutting out the middleman and directly giving whack shit to consumers. You know what I mean? Like,
the creator.
I will
100%.
I will say this though, there is a certain number of those idiots or goofballs that are out doing it that are playing on negativity and knowing that views count regardless of whether it's somebody that's actually liking what you're doing or somebody that's in there to clown on the comment section.
Yes.
Because both are valuable dollar wise. And so you'll get some of these people out there that shouldn't do it, that look like they shouldn't do it, that sound like they shouldn't do it, but they're doing it on purpose because they know they're going to get a large portion of people that will interact with it.
Yes.
Wow.
So we shouldn't pay it attention. So as a culture, as a people, when we're online, if you don't send it to your man and be like, this is so ridiculous, right? Because you're giving it the love when you
a lot of times it's not
100%.
A lot of times not us. Like I'm a decent guy in this city. The demons. Niggas be scheming. Niggas be robbing. Mental health reasons. Financial reasons.
Whatever the fuck.
He's a biracial girl in a biracial world. All
I'm saying, it's funny.
It's all funny.
But that's funny. It's funny games, but that ain't hip hop though.
Nah, I don't know. Okay, everything qualifies in hip hop, but it's not.
I was a little bit.
I know,
taller.
That's a good song though.
That's my shit though. No, that's hip hop right there.
Of course it is, and that was a fun. It's a fun. The spirit of hip hop.
Bro, that's nothing like Decent Man.
If those look, I agree. They're not of the caliber that I'm going to be like. Their woos per capita are very low. Here we go. Let's go full circle again. I want to hear music with a lot of woos per capita. That's one group of music. If I want to hear some shit that's just like ridiculous, then that's a whole nother type of music.
We got that like Prince Paul and like a bunch of crazy shit and shit that you can listen to. That's like, cool. Yeah, 100%. You know what I mean? And shit like that. And then, like I said, there's a time and a place for everything. But, there's a time and a place for everything. So, and sometimes, if I want to hear, I like stand-up comedians. And not only that, 'cause as an artist, like how I write, like, I know I like stand-up comedians, how they build their jokes and their punchlines hit. And sometimes like I'm listening to a stand-up comedian and the way that their setups are and how shit hits and how they scheme, how they put shit together and shit. Sometimes I'm interested in that. So I get that. And sometimes, we just all need a laugh where life is heavy and we need to make it light and crack a joke. And you know what I mean? And I get that. So, but and I'm not knocking anybody's thing. I'm just saying, like today, the dudes that's kicking science and knowledge, right? Y'all punching holes in my shit. The dude that's kicking science and knowledge, he ain't getting as much love as the guy but you made a valid point saying that people are hating on it. Its interaction is the same. It doesn't mean a negative or a positive, and it's just the interaction and equals a dollar sign. So they don't, you know what I mean? It's like the algorithm and it's just making money and you know what I mean and shit like that. But I guess for me at the end of the day, I'm like a purist about like the art and then hip hop. And you said that too. It's like, I learned this years ago, right? I would do we did a bunch of shows in New Jersey, opened up for like AZ, Sean Price, a bunch of dope acts, right? And sometimes artists there'd be a bunch of rappers' names on the thing, right? And a bunch of them wouldn't come, right? And I'd be like, yo, the DJ was my homie, and we would rock and shit, and and then the DJ would be like, the kids ain't come because they had their name on an internet flyer that said they was opening for Sean Price or AZ or whatever they was doing. So physically going to rock the show, they wasn't even interested in, because digitally they had the internet flyer that said that they was there doing something special. Where for me, if my name was on it, I might have not felt good that day or had a headache, or because I was committed to it and they put my name on it. I go and do the shit, because the most important thing is showing up and doing the thing that you're supposed to say you're supposed to go do. Right. So I already knew the game was like flipped upside down. Like, what? They just got the internet flyer. They just want their name on the, well, all right. Like, my mind was like, yo, but this is the world we live in 2025. So, your internet presence is more important than your real life aura, or how you stand in like life as a man or a person or artist, or, you know what I mean? And I always tell people like I'm a cool person in real life. You know what I mean? Like I'm whack online or whatever. I don't be engaging, but like, if you meet me in real life, I'm really a cool guy. Like, you know what I mean? So, but I'd rather be that way than be a whack ass person and look cool as shit online all the time. You know what I mean? So it beats the alternative, I guess.
Definitely. Yes. Before we segue to the next joint, my homie 10 years ago said, nowadays, in order to succeed, you had to suck to succeed. Like, that's what Ice JJ Fish was blowing up. Something about you, girl, you make my head want to. IJJ Fish. It's like he grew up off a whack song, and like people like to see the gesture perform more than the king talking sometimes. You know what I'm saying? They want to see the jazz hands and throw tomatoes at him and get pushed down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they like that shit. They like to see the clown.
Okay. I mean, with the king kicking knowledge is boring after a couple minutes. Unless you're an astute thinker and you're really like tapped into what the king is saying. You're with that a minute, then you're like, the jester, he juggles and rides on a little unicycle, and you can throw tomatoes at him. You said it's hella more entertaining. You know what I mean? So, or you can say, ain't he horrible? Yo, he stinks and shit like that. And you know what I mean? And you can talk about it that way. You know what I mean? So
that's what it is, yo. The jester's in the king's court. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
Damn, y'all dropping science today, man.
I'm telling you.
I always said too. But look, hold on. I want, that growing up, like I was a hoodlum. I grew up with like 25 hoodlums, and I ran in the street, and I wasn't like, I didn't care for school or being a scholar or like feeding my mind, but as I grew and hip hop raised me, I realized my favorite MCs was real smart. Right. And it was like dropping science. And I started realizing like, yo, read mad books. I would explain to my man, like, yo's hella smart, and I realized like hip hop basically taught me that there's power and knowledge, and being smart. The more books I read, the smarter that I was, the bigger vocabulary I had, the more I could, the more vast things I could, the way I could, articulate myself. So, but I'm saying that today it's like the opposite again. We're like hip hop. You would never think like today hip hop is not teaching the youth that it's cool to have knowledge and be smart. It's not cool. But see, I got that from, and not only that, it's like sometimes you got to be wise enough. You could read a whole bunch of bullshit, right? There might be a jewel or two in there. You got to be smart enough to sift through all the bullshit to understand the jewel in it. You know what I mean? So sometimes it was, it was dirty shit I was listening to, or grimy shit or whatever, right? But I pulled some type of jewel out of that, and I used it like, as, an idea that knowledge is cool. Knowledge is power. I want to gain knowledge. I want to, and so throughout the whole rest of my life, I'm thirsty for knowledge. Like I'm always like, damn, when I have a problem in my life, like something with my car or something, instead of being hella upset, I learn a new thing, how the mechanism turns and how this shit works like this. And my brain is like, oh shit, cool. You know what I mean? So I'm always on a thirst for knowledge, but really a lot of that started with hip hop. And so today we're just so far away from that, you know what I mean? So it's like I still do that and give that to people, you know what I mean? And my shit, you can sit down and turn your phone off or, you know, roll a doob or pour your wine glass or whatever and sit down and tap into what I'm saying. And really, like, you might listen to it 100 times and catch something different or be like, yo, man, this is a double entendre and like stuff like that. And that's the stuff that I still have passion about, like with the music and the art, and to, you know what I mean? Like nerd out with it. And you know what I mean? It's in there, like the science and the math and shit. So,
hell yeah, yo.
I'm sorry to get off topic, but y'all just had to get that out there.
Cool. Our topic is talking to you. So
word up.
That's it, man. You kicking shit, man. This is it. This is what it's about.
Yeah.
PrimoJAB, what we got, bro?
Nah.
Hey, bro.
It's real shit.
It is real shit. But I was just gonna say, bro. I mean, first and foremost, I want to get it out of here, man. You know, it's been 32 episodes since you were last here. You were last here in April, and yeah, like you said, when we had that conversation, we just got lost talking about everything. And here we are again talking about everything, but we've been able to do a lot more focused talk on, I think, like really letting you be yourself, right? And you really express yourself. And not only that, express your experiences, man. So I want to talk about what is, I guess, Guy Graham's, if your discography, what songs do you wish you had that you don't think you've made yet? What songs are you looking to make? Like if you could pick out like 2 songs that have just like really impacted you, like that really pulled your rapper string, that really made you have them oohs. What are those songs that you wish you had made that you're like, yo, I'm still trying to make this song in my catalog?
Uh-oh.
Y'all got me?
We're
lagging a little bit.
You get me? Yeah, I was getting somebody was calling. I apologize. Come on.
Yeah, that's how it happens when you're an important rapper such as yourself, man. You know, people always want to hit you up. But yeah, what I was getting at, you know, for you all out there,
you gotta be a decent man and it's your demons.
No, you don't want to make a decent man song. That decent man. It's like I wish I made Cream for example. You know what I mean?
Here's the call for music. Hey, buddy.
I wish I made motherfucking New York State of Mind. I want to make a song like that. You know, like, you know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. I
want to make a tip drill.
Yeah.
I want to make I ain't got no panties on.
Oh, wow.
Make, what that thing? What it smell like?
Well, what that thing smells like? That's crazy.
But it's getting kind of late on here, though.
I want to make All Eyes on Me.
Like I say, before I have to say this before we're gonna wrap it up when he comes back. But I have to announce this. If y'all can make it, it'd be great. January 31st at the Meadows in Brooklyn. Okay. We have who else? Who's gonna be there? Let me see this. It's going to be headliners. Oh, wait. Division of Mind, Discontent, Body Rock, Crush Your Soul. Headliners is Triple B Records' very own Missing Link, and we have Rome Streets at the Meadows in
And you're
Brooklyn.
hosting it?
And I'm hosting it. Shout out to fellas,
man.
So if y'all can make it, it's a Saturday, January 31st.
Yeah. I apologize. The little Grams was getting ready to go to bed, and I had to chop it up with my little man real quick. And you know,
that's all good.
Being a pops is precedent. So,
absolutely.
And you know, that's an ill ass question. I'm with you when you was asking about like what songs in my catalog. You know, I honestly I can't say off the top. Like it's something that I would have to put more thought into to give you an honest answer. But I can say, you know, we got like 12 studio albums. You know, I made mixtapes and shit before that and all this. So I can say that, you know, I made songs with choruses with like, you know, when I rhymed, came up with like a hook and a chorus. I made songs with like DJs had cuts. I had songs where I let the beat breathe and it was like, and I ain't say nothing. You know what I mean? I made songs where I had like told a story. I rapped songs that was like quick tempo. I rapped the songs that was like sludgy and slow. I purposely, I pretty much, I would say like, I wish I would like to tell a classic story. I have a few joints where I tell a story. I have joints that are up tempo joints. I have joints that are more laid back joints. So it's like, in that idea with that same idea, I feel like I hit the mark in a sense that I was aiming to make a bunch of joints with hooks, and I made those. I was trying to make joints that was slowed down, and I made those. So it's like, I really like having the freedom to, I don't have no label with Snow. It's just me pushing a pen. If I want to, like War Medals, I wanted to shine a light on, veterans who come home and then are homeless or get treated like shit. Even if they get medals and they're shiny trinkets that they give them, they're meaningless. They have drug addictions. They're fucked up in the head and they got nowhere to go. And so like, homeless. I wanted to shed light, on homeless veterans with war medals. And, certain things that we do is like, I got the freedom to, the gateway drug was like something that we did, and it has like a vibe, and it's like early in my career, and it's like the world loved the gateway drug. You know what I mean? It's like trippy sounding, and the whole thing sounds kind of like you're smoking a bunch of weed, eating mushrooms or something. You know what I mean? And the whole album sounds like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I definitely tapped into that creativeness. And then so. Also certain shit that I did, like again, like War Medals. It don't got a lot of hooks, but I purposely just, if I rap 3 minutes straight through, I grew up listening to Cannabis, who would rap like 10 minutes with flaws and shit and brag about it and shit like that. So it's like, I gave you songs with choruses. I gave you songs with a girl singing. I did stories. So it was like, I feel like even after doing all those type of songs, it gave me more ultimate freedom to do whatever I wanted. Cause it's like, if you want that from Guy Grams, I go listen to that. I've done it for you, but now I'm doing this, you know what I mean? So, and even on the Andolini, the new project that loosely, so, it's a lot of hooks, and, it wasn't something that I subconsciously planned. It was just, it just, when I'm counting them out, I'm like, damn, 8, 10, 12 of these joints got hooks, and they're all like dope ideas. So, I guess we're going with that for now. You know what I mean? But I consciously before like tried to make good hooks, and you know what I mean, and do other shit, and then get like a girl come into the lab, and you said something earlier too while we're on this, is that it's low hanging fruit. Like everybody, I said these goofy rappers, it's the easiest thing to do. I try to tell people that that anybody can be a rapper. It's like one of the easiest things to be today, right? And so the only thing that separates me from all them other guys is the words that I use. So I think long and hard about all the words that I use when I rhyme. You know what I mean? And I take and I also told you all earlier, I'm 40 now, so it's like I don't got no time to play with it. I never. I'm a flame it, I got no time to like waste time or like not come with my A shit. Like, you know what I mean? Every time they hand me a mic, expect me to spit, flames coming out, you know what I mean? Cause I'm not, I don't waste the opportunity, a moment. Like if I get the mic, if I write a rhyme, like that shit has got to be heavy, high level, thought. And, and I put it to rhythm and, we move with it. So.
Hey man, shout you out, man. Dan coming soon, bro. I'm totally hip to the Andolini. I'm with that.
Yeah, hell yeah,
Karl, what we got, Karl?
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, so I know we're finishing up here, and I got to give you your flowers. The Actors and Ballplayers, it's like a neck workout. It's every song, just I can't help but. My head is moving, and it's got such a great flow front to back. I'm super excited about Andolini. I think what we found is you can come on here anytime and we can just hang out. You're so entertaining and yeah, I mean, I appreciate you so much. So thank you again just for coming back on.
We got a release date for Andolini? You got a... Okay.
I was hoping to put it out this year and the end of this year, but the holidays is coming. It's a lot of chaotic. It's got a lot of shit going on right now, and I think we'll wait to the beginning of the year to give it proper shit. But I'm lined up. The next single, the first single, Champagne Dinners. You know what I mean? And that's already out. Check that on the Snow Goons channel on YouTube. Produced by Ray Sosa, and then the second single is a joint I got with Daniel's son that I'm getting ready to release here in the next couple weeks.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna shoot a solo joint called Crime Scene Tape. I told you we're gonna shoot visuals for all of them. And then I want to shoot a joint with my man Jamil Honesty off the album as well. So
nice.
So that's my next couple moves. You'll be seeing, more visuals from Guy Grams, more little content chops and stuff for my Instagram and shit like that to, interact. And like I said, I got Actors and Ballplayers physicals, the CDs right now. We're in the process of, trying to figure out negotiate some vinyl deals and shit like that. So plug us if anybody knows, or is interested, as well.
Somebody might be watching, man.
Hell yeah, no doubt. And y'all are entertaining. Like I said, I like vibing with y'all. Lukey, all y'all are wild. You know what I mean? So that's why I said we could like hang out and I don't know how far y'all from Baltimore, like we gonna have a crab feast and you know what I mean? And we need to have like a cookout or something and do a live one. We'll do a live and I'll be the special guy and we get and let's eat some good food and that's what Baltimore does, We do the seafood. The crab cakes and all the, you know what I mean? And that shit. And, I got the, and you're fucking with Guy Graham. Yeah. I'll make sure we got the good grass. See, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
see, can't even say something normal like, grass. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking everything.
It's all
the invitation. Words. I definitely would extend the invitation, come down here to Baltimore and, we'll do it right. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all for real. And, anybody that's, let's come. Let's make it shake, anybody any of y'all listeners that's not familiar with what I do, definitely tap into Guy Grams music on Instagram, Guy Grams on YouTube and all that. We got 100 videos, GuyGramsmusic.com. So, that's still up. We had the website up for 10 years or something. And I'll be forgetting. I told you, I'm like a caveman. But you can order T-shirts on there and vinyl. We got war medals, like the medals and the patches and everything from, certain little niche things that we got. Earlier you were saying something about, Paris Shows Love. We actually got the whole project called Bmore, which is Dirt Platoon, Ill Conscious, and myself and all Parisian producers. When we went to Paris, we was in the studio, in the lab with all these Parisian producers were like, we might as well just make an album and shit. You know what I mean? So shit like that, just like I said, a lot of that shit comes organically where it's not like something we forced. It just, we are all standing around and we're all like, like mutants and shit. And we all got these skill sets. So we might as well put them to use, right?
Yeah. One of them dudes, one of the DJs is from France, right? From Lyon, France.
NM Scratchers. NM Scratchers. Yeah. It's a collection of they're like a collection of DJs and they're super ill. They're like, all into the culture of graffitiing and DJing and shit. I know it's a bunch of them that like scratch and, they're the homies and, we built online a few times and, they did the joint, for me at Starving Bee and shout out to Starving Bee in Queens. You know what I mean? And, I think that's the bonus track on Actors and Ballplayers too. So,
that's what's
that's the cover on the back. We didn't really show the back on the digital. It's everybody's mug shots. It's a whole bunch of famous people, actors and rappers and ball players and mug shots and shit. You know what I mean? So so that's just it turned out real dope. You know what I mean? And I'm real excited about. They can get that right now. You know what I mean? They can holler at me at GuyGramsmusic.com.
Right
you know what I mean? Guy Grams Music at Gmail, at Guy Grams Music on Instagram, all that shit. You can holler at me.
Right
I'll pull up on you, or I had to make a trip to the post office. You know what I mean? So ain't no thing. You know what I mean? But I appreciate all the listens. Yo, you know what I mean? You can get it before Christmas. You know what I mean? But yo, I appreciate your time, effort, and energy. All y'all. You know what I mean? And your listeners as well. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's a lot of bullshit to sift through in the world. So if you came across my shit, I salute you. You know what I mean? Like, yo, and you had to sift through a lot of bullshit to get to my shit. And if you enjoy my shit, then, yo, you made that journey. You know, it makes it all the more worth it when you discover something that you enjoy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, that's what this is about. What the podcast is about, man.
100%. And if we're putting people on the shit that that they ain't familiar with, like you said, if I said some names of some guys that they should go back and tap in with 100%. You know what I mean? I love that.
Hell yeah, yo. Yeah. Look out for the new album coming first quarter. You know what I'm saying? Word.
First quarter with
that. Yeah, first quarter like Actors and Ballplayers. You know what I'm saying? The first quarter, yo. Boom.
Yeah.
Getting to
first quarter. You know we scoring.
Yeah. Well, with that, yo.
Yes, sir.
Episode 222 of the Abyss podcast comes to an end. And be a decent man in the city of demons. Because niggas be robbing and niggas be scheming. For mental health reasons, financial reasons. Yeah.
All different reasons.
All different reasons. Yeah, all different reasons, man.
All facts.
That dude sucks. See y'all next week.
Peace.
Yeah. Carlton.